It's your boy Edgar Ibarra. So I just wanted to come on here live since we still have about another 18 minutes left in Thanksgiving. I know it's very late in the evening, but I just want to talk about what are you grateful for and what are you focusing on? Because a lot of times whether or not you're grateful and what you're grateful for depends on where your focus is at. So I'll go into that in just a moment, but you guys, if you have, or ladies and gentlemen, I should say, if you have something to add to the conversation, by all means, go ahead, jump in the comments. That way, I'm just not like rambling on and on just by myself. Especially as I try the new, more live functions. I'm trying to do that a little bit more often here on Facebook. So, let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts around this topic. So, being grateful in what you focus on. So, let me give you some examples. As a filmmaker, one of the big things, as you know, as a cameraman, as an editor, etc. Is, ooh, what kind of camera do you have? And do you have, this new camera? Do you have that new camera? And it's just like you can easily fall into that. Um, and I know people that are very Michael Ray, what's up, brother? Happy Thanksgiving, man. Still Turkey Day for another 17 minutes, brother. Thank you so much for jumping in. Michael, so I was talking about basically, like, for example, as a filmmaker, you can add, as a camera nerd, as an editing nerd, you can fall into the whole thing of like, always, well, here's the thing. I'm grateful for the great basic little camera and Canon Rebel T6i. It literally looks like a still camera, but it does video, it does 24 frames per second, so it does what I needed to do to make movies. And you know, it I would rather focus, and I'm grateful for that camera. I'm grateful for it because it was a gift from my wife that I really do appreciate. And I would rather take that and focus on being a good storyteller with just the basic tools first and foremost. Good execution, with regards to the camera and behind the camera stuff. Good execution with regards to the shooting, the editing, etc. Like, am I telling an interesting story with the visuals and everything that I'm recording? As far as for in front of the camera, that's you guys, the actors and actresses. Great execution and focusing on great execution and pulling that great performance out of the on-camera talent. Those are the things that I would prefer to focus on. And that's always been my focus, especially in a world where, like cameras and editing systems, they're necessary, and it's always necessary to have good gear. But the thing is that I personally can't let myself fall into the game of, okay, buying the next camera and the next camera, then the one after that, because every 4 months, every 6 months, there's always, and there literally is always a newer, more kick-ass camera that you can buy. So I just don't let myself focus on that. Does that mean that I'm never going to get a 4K camera or like, or upgrade? Or no, of course not. Like, that's the reality, and I'm pretty aware, I'm pretty conscious that that's the reality of things. And so, so I don't deny that reality. It's just not the thing that I choose to focus on. I would rather take Michael, I'd rather say, hey, dude, let's focus on banging out like an amazing scene with amazing acting, shooting, editing, directing, etc., right? And then notice I didn't say camera. So, that's what I'm focusing on, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for the internet, because if you would have told me in the 1990s that we'd have this amazing thing where so much communication can happen and basically instantaneously, I would have been like, "What? Like, no way, get out of here." But sure enough, here we are. Whereas in the early 90s, you had the concept of Wayne's World, which was like the public access television station, but now we can all be Wayne's World. If you have a message or something you want to share with the world, whoever you are and whatever you do, you can share it like that. And so I'm grateful for the internet, but just to dive a little deeper, I'm I'm Michael Ray. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's bang out a scene and let's bang out something. By the way, dude, I saw your post. I hope I believe it was an audition. Hope that went well, my friend. We'll say a little prayer for you so that way you get good results from that. But yeah, like I'm grateful for first and foremost my wife's health. Like, that's just, that it goes without saying, but I need to say it, you know what I mean? But like, I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for my health. Coronavirus back in September, that was not fun. I got beat up pretty bad, but the thing is that as bad as I got beat up for my standards, which, to put it very, very briefly, I never get sick. But as bad as I got beat up, I know that there are tons of other people who have had it and are going through it way worse than me. And so, it's like I did, I did get beat up, but other people, other people are going through it worse. So I'm grateful for my health, and my thoughts and prayers are with everyone else fighting this damn virus. Um, my thoughts and prayers are for, those affected by the virus, either directly or indirectly. You know, Tonight I'm grateful to have had a good meal with my wife, just to sit down peacefully when that there's somebody else. Um, there's tons of other people in the hospital, like trying to fight their way through this damn virus. And maybe it's not just the virus, maybe it's a whole bunch of other things. First started acting 3 years ago, no material, and slowly, surely, little funds. I got all my material, hard work, and volunteering. I have an iPhone and three basic lights for self-tape. Bro, that's awesome. And 3 years ago, you said you started. That's awesome. And I especially love the part about your iPhone and three basic lights because if that's what you have, then guess what, brother? Go for it. You have more than enough. Up against somebody who maybe is always focusing on, well, I need this camera or I need these lenses and whatnot. And that type of person, bro, and I know a few of those. I'm not going to bring up names, but those type of people um, are the ones who never quite get around to doing or finishing their project because they're always focusing on the next camera or the next phone or the next this and it's just like just okay, buy that next thing, that next camera, that next phone when you can, when you have the money, but at the same time, be grateful for what you do have and just make some shit happen with that. Like, it's not rocket science, but I'm so grateful for the Tucson community for all I have. Yeah, bro, I can, you know, if you want to chime in a little bit more on what aspects of the Tucson community, but I can tell you personally, I'm a transplant from LA, but I've been here almost 20 years now, actually going on next year. And I got here in 2001. And Tucson and the Tucson arts community, for, to the extent that I've dived into it, um, has embraced me. And so Tucson's been good. Tucson's a good place full of great, great people. And yeah, I literally owe my life to Tucson. Ah, bro, now I'm curious. Now I want to hear your story a little bit because I know a little bit like bits and pieces you've put out, but you're obviously a person with gratitude, and that's really awesome to hear. And here's the other thing, like I don't want to come off as like sunshine, rainbows, unicorns and stuff, okay? Like that's not where I'm trying to go with this. Um, it M Michael, I'm happy that you have found so much in Tucson to be grateful for. Um, I was dying of liver disease, couldn't get treated in Texas. M- my in three. m- Tucson cured me in 3 months. Damn, bro. Wow. I'm curious. And they got me a new prosthetic leg. Wow, bro. Yeah, there's a, you know, I wonder was it an organization and also what hospital too? Because we have great hospitals here in Tucson. And as far as for your prosthetic, I think there's a great organization or a great company called Hanger here in town that I've gone to for a few news stories, and I know they do amazing work also. But I don't want to speak too much on them and that topic because I'm not a master of that. But damn, bro, that's awesome, man. I mean, you know, obviously you're a grateful person for, um, your your liver disease that you got rid of here and they helped you get rid of and also your prosthetic, bro. That makes me happy, man. And the reason why that strikes a chord with me is because as a cameraman, I people say, well, there's a lot of negativity on the news. It's just like, yeah, no kidding. Like, I'm not things happen. Things happen here locally. And my whole thing as a cameraman is okay, but what am I going to do with that and processing it right here? Like it what I do with that and how I process that is it just makes me that much more grateful for what I do have and for for understanding literally, looking at life face to face and seeing what other people go through. And so that's how I digest that. So I do see that, there's um, you know, the negative, the things that happen, but I see a lot of positive too. And that's one of the most blessed parts of what I'm also grateful for. Um, in being a cameraman is you get to see so many great people and organizations and people and organizations doing great things for other people. So I'm really, really happy to see. Michael, so let me see. And the government plus state insurance. Oh, okay. I was jobless and damn near homeless. Oh, okay. Yeah. State insurance. God, what is it called? Access? Access, I believe it's called. But either way, good to hear. John Linyan. As a musician, I'm just preparing myself when the pandemic for the venues to open up, working on my craft. I think many artists are doing the same. I lost a lot of gigs. However, I've been blessed with being able to do drive-in gigs. I think this pandemic, sorry, John, I'm blind. Not really blind, you know. Um, I think this pandemic has created opportunities, inspirations, and desperation. I will put on the path you need to be on, not necessarily the one you want. Bro, that's a great point. That's a great point because first off, John, Michael, I'm really happy to hear, and I think, bro, I think you got stories in you, and you just need to formulate those, man, and tell stories on screen or through plays or through monologues. Harness everything you've been through, bro. I do the same, like I'm no different there. John, bro, that's man, you know, I'm not saying this pandemic is a good thing, but because it's not. But one of the unexpected things, John, as you said, are the opportunities that have been created. Like I've been way more active. I think more people have been. Humanity's just been way more active on um, things like Zoom, or here I am trying to goof around, get a little bit more familiar with the live functions of Facebook, going in my regular profile, the FILMspiration group, and then I'm gonna do another post right now for um, the fan page. So I got like three places and whatnot. Michael Ray would love to speak on all I've experienced, brother. And I would love to hear, Michael Ray. I would love to hear, bro, because you have the power of speech and storytelling right here. Bam. I'm not doing anything different other than, it's a little tower and my little webcam here, but otherwise you have the power of communication right here, bro. We all do. We all do. It just depends on are you using it or not. But I encourage you to, bro. Share your story, do something with it, harness it. John, it's not, but we have to adapt. It's not it's not good. The pandemic is not good. But yes, we do have to adapt. And so, humanity has adapted to Zoom. I I had heard of Zoom before the pandemic, but I never ever ever thought that I'd be using Zoom as much as I am now. And I kind of love it. I'm not forced to use it as much as other people, like meetings and meetings and meetings, but when I do, maybe that's why I like it a little bit more than other people because I don't have to use it as much. I still think it's amazing, and I think it's amazing that I'm talking to you guys right now and in a Wayne's World type of show. In that format where basically I'm putting my mug on here and we're interacting. Um, but yeah, John. So let's go back to adapting. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the unexpected ways we've had to adapt in this pandemic, Zoom being one of them. Um, you know, for me, being inside and being in the solitude of like, this is my editing space, and that didn't change because I still, I'm coming close, very, very close to completing my feature film. All we have. Not a perfect film, but it will be one that I will be very proud of, and I hope that the Tucson community can stand with me on that too. Those two sentiments. But I was doing that, and I really got to focus on that, and that was actually one of the things that like when I had coronavirus back in September, that was one of the things um, that was one of the things that I just focused more intensely on to pull myself out of, when I did have the energy during the virus to, when I felt better enough, bam, let's go at it. And so, you know, John, another thing that I saw, another contact of mine who was a musician out of the Phoenix area. Dude, this guy's playing. His name's escaping me right now. He's a guitarist. He's playing in his garage on Facebook, right? But he's taking tips through this other app or this other website. I don't know what it's called, but I thought, damn, that's badass. Like this guy's literally still doing what he does, which is play music on his guitar in his garage. Okay, you can see like the water heater and stuff behind him, and he's taking tips. And I don't even know what the app was called, but you know, he adapted, and I commend him for that. So I think that's so awesome, and I'm grateful for I'm grateful for those weird learning lessons that have come out of this pandemic because, as they say in Spanish, no hay mal que por bien no venga, which means there is no bad that will produce no good. So from bad comes good. Um, but yeah, man, I'm grateful for all those type of things. John, what you got, man? I feel like we took 5, 7 years of innovation and squeezed. Yeah, dude, think about it. John, that's a great point, bro. That's a great point. The thing that I always tell my coworkers is, as a cameraman, we have on our phones, we turn these things into hotspots. So I'm editing video in the car, turn on the hotspot, feed the video back, bam, then you're off to your next assignment, the next thing that you have to go cover out in the streets. So I got a car, I got the gear. Um, what did this teach us? Back to your point, John. Uh, it taught us that, it taught us that maybe we weren't thinking in this direction, but we were forced to, and we discovered like, oh, look at how much we can do. Look at how much we can get done. So great point. Took a lot of 5 to 7 years of innovation, squeezed it into a few months. Damn true. Michael Ray, I love it. Got to reach out around the country. I got an audition for CBS New York, Amazon Prime, did a music video for a rap star, all during the last month. Damn, bro, that's cool, bro. Like, wow. And all from like all remotely, Michael. That's pretty cool. I mean, even if it wasn't remotely, I mean, hopefully social distance, all that stuff. But congrats, bro. That's really awesome. And again, I'm gonna assume that FaceTime or um, Zoom was involved. Again, the innovation to John's point. Uh, all this innovation got squeezed into a few months. Let's count them. Let's go through 'em. March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. 9 months. Had to count the fingers. Yeah, 9 months and all remote. Wow, bro, think about that, man. Think about that. Except for the video, I went to LA. If you gotta go, you gotta go. I'm pretty sure precautions were taken, social distancing, masks, all that stuff. But damn, that's you guys are what you guys are communicating. I'm grateful for, and that's awesome that you guys, back to the theme of the video, you guys chose to run with that and say, okay, I'm going to focus on this despite, this is who I am, this is what I do, and this is what I'm still going to focus on despite the circumstances. So that's pretty awesome, bro. Good job to both of you guys. Very proud of both of you guys for just, and many people, everyone who's, taken the situation and said, F it, let's run with it. You know what I mean? I'm grateful to be reminded through examples like yours that there is so much potential out there. Like, here on Facebook, maybe other apps, other social media, but there's so much potential for so much that can be done that really, if you're not doing a thing, whatever your thing is, then it's not because the tools aren't there. Like, these are great reminders that the tools are there and whatnot. But yeah, man, like, when back to the theme of the video, when you focus on your thing, when you focus on this, then that's what manifests more, and because that's what you have to work with. Same goes for me too. Um, I've been caught and guilty and in patterns and cycles of, focusing on the things that are not right or not beneficial. And so I have to reshift my focus too. So it heavily determines like, oh, it's 12:02. It's no longer Thanksgiving, but it was a good Thanksgiving. I hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. Um, like it doesn't mean like, that there's bad stuff that we could all slip into focusing on. And we all know that negative Nancy or, like remember SNL, Debbie Downer, remember? "Wah, wah," and then the camera zooms in. That was what, like 10 years ago, I think. We can all focus on the wrong things. I get caught doing the same thing too. I catch myself doing the same thing too, and then I have to reshift my focus. So that's why I wanted to go on this rant of, what are you grateful for? What are you focusing on? And I'm not trying to preach either, you guys. Like I'm like some guru or something. Like I'm not, I'm really not. So a lot of times I'll go back and watch these videos and as a mental refresher for myself of what it is to be in that headspace coming from that message. You know what I mean? So anyway, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go because I'm gonna bang out one or two more. Well, I'm gonna jump on YouTube. Same thing there. Hopefully, people will say, "What's up?" Like you guys. I'm grateful for you guys. I'm grateful for you guys jumping in. Um, all three of you guys watching, guys and gals. And just that, you guys, thank you so much for putting up with my craziness all the time. Michael, thank you so much for watching my madness. I think I was, I forgot, on Instagram, I think it was. I always take the Bruce Lee approach to my art in all my aspects when he said, be like the water. Ah, yes. The water becomes the cup. I really take that to heart. Yep, that's a great reminder, you know. Become the cup, be like the water. Mostly I'm grateful for my wife. She has saved me from myself. Michael, a good wife, man, that's a blessing. That's a massive blessing. A good partner in our lives is a blessing. If it's a husband. John, good night, brother. Have a good night, man. And thank you for sharing, man. I really do appreciate your time and your stories and your chiming in. And and yeah, man, like innovation, bro. Let me know if you got something you want me to share because I think it's pretty awesome all the time. So, Michael, yes, a good wife, a good husband, big blessing, man. Can't say more, can't say less. All right, you guys. I'll talk to you guys later. Much love, and thanks for chiming in. And hopefully, I run into you guys in these late night rants more often. And I'm gonna try to do them more often too. All right, bye.